Hello, my loves. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. First of all, hi, hello, welcome. How are you? I will tell you, I am so happy to be talking to you today. If you don't know, I am an assistant principal as my full-time job, and I promise you today was just one of those days. Breaking up fights is a daily activity. I mean, it happens every day, but today it was just over and over and over again. One of those days, one of the fights, I end up getting punched. It just, if you know anybody in education, reach out to them. We're not okay. But that's what makes having a full-time job and kind of a side job kind of cool. So when something goes wrong at the full-time job, I have you all and reselling to sink into. When reselling's not going so well, I have my full-time job to sink into. So it works out to have kind of those two passions going back and forth that actually kind of, I have benefits on either side as well. But you're not here to hear all about that. You want to hear about my sales on Poshmark in the month of September. Now, the month of September, I sold 33 items on Poshmark. Some of the items were a little bit higher priced, and some of them I was basically giving away for free. So let's just go ahead and start. I do have my computer here with me, so if I'm looking down like I'm looking right now, that is exactly what I'm looking at, just making sure that I get all of the information correct for you. Now, the first thing on September 1st was a pair of Tommy Hilfiger Relax Fit jeans. These came from a flip lot, so I ended up splitting 50-50 of my profit. These sold for $12 after platform fees. That was $9.05. And like I just said, splitting that up with the client. These Mark Fisher Helena cut out boots or wedges, I would say, came from a flip lot that I did buy out the flip lot for $6 a piece. These sold for $15 after platform fees. That gave me $12 of profit. So really it still is that 50-50 because I paid out the $6 of the cost of goods. Now this next piece, I was really concerned that it was an accidental purchase. In fact, I waited out the 3 hours just in case somebody did accidentally purchase and they wanted to cancel. If you don't know, on Poshmark, buyers can cancel their orders within 3 hours as long as they do a buy it now. Now, if they send out an offer, they don't have that same ability to cancel because they can't claim that it was an accidental purchase because they were conscious in making an offer. But sometimes it happens, you accidentally hit buy now. I've done it before, and you just cancel and you're perfectly fine. So the reason why I was so concerned about this being an accidental purchase, because I had this way overpriced in my mind. This was a divided H&M vibrant blue sheer cardigan. And to me, it seemed like the cheapest material ever. I mean, I probably would not have even gotten this if it was free for myself to wear, but you know, obviously somebody else was happy to get it. This came from a ThredUp rescue box. On those rescue boxes, I say that my cost of goods is roughly $2. It is just under $2, but it just makes it a little bit easier for these videos to explain the cost of goods. And if you don't know, I don't take piece by piece my cost of goods. I just average out how much money I get for the month versus how much I spent for the month. So it kind of, it all evens out. It makes sense in the long run. Anyways, a long story short, this ended up selling for $28, which I'm pretty sure was probably more than it would have cost to begin with because it was H&M. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe it's something that, you know, they made before, they don't make it anymore, somebody is collecting it. I don't know. I don't get why somebody would spend $28 plus shipping on this, but somebody did. This did end up then giving me $20.68 of profit, and then of course taking out that approximate $2 cost of goods, giving me approximately $18 on this item. Situations like this almost make me feel bad. Like, should I have not have charged that much for it? But if somebody is willing to pay for it, and I'm making money off of it. Isn't that kind of the point of this? Please tell me I'm not alone in that feeling. I feel like I almost like feel bad, like I robbed somebody, but really, again, they were willing to spend the money on it. Maybe I'm just missing something here. These Crocs wedge slip-on shoes came from a flip lot, but I did buy out just like the other shoes for $6. These sold for $18 with a little bit of a shipping discount. So that gave me $12.68 of profit, and then taking out that $6 cost of goods as well. I, for various reasons, am not a fan of selling shoes. First of all, they take up so much space in inventory. Second of all, I don't feel like I've gotten the pictures quite down on shoes. So if somebody sends an offer, accepts an offer on shoes, I usually go ahead and accept it, send it out, because it just, I haven't figured out the shoe game. Does anybody have any good tips in order to store shoes, in order to photograph the shoes? I am definitely willing to hear suggestions, but I'm the type of person that if the shoes aren't in perfect condition, I will put them in a pile and I will say I will clean them up, and then they will just sit in that pile and I'll never clean them up, and eventually I will just list them as is and just take whatever profit that I can get for them because I just want them out of my house. That is most definitely not what I suggest you do, but I'm just being honest in what happens in reality in my particular situation. This next piece gave me a little bit more of a profit. This was a Giovanni purple dress. It was kind of like a short dress that I would imagine somebody would wear for homecoming, maybe like some kind of dress-up party or the like. This sold for $55, and then that gave me $44 of profit after the platform fees. This was from a flip lot that I did still have on consignment, so I went ahead and paid out the client. They're roughly 50% from this. These Joe skinny jeans also came from a flip lot that I bought out at a $3 cost of goods. These ended up selling for $20 with a little bit of a shipping discount. So I got $13.32 of profit. So that gave me $10 of profit after that $3 cost of goods. If flip is something that you are kind of dabbling with, the idea of going towards, I definitely suggest trying to buy out the lots versus consignment. Now, if you are sending items into somebody through flip, I would say try to do it on consignment instead of buyout, but there's more profit if you are on the seller side to just go ahead and buy out. And then some items aren't going to sell, but you can go ahead and put them back up on flip for somebody else to sell. I've done that before. I've done it one time I was out of town and I got a couple of flip lots in at the same time. So I just knew I didn't have time to immediately list the items, and I kind of felt bad for the clients. So I offered to buy out the items. I didn't even open the box because, again, I was out of town. There were a couple of pieces in the boxes that I would consider not sellable condition, but because I already bought them out, I wasn't able to, say anything back to them, because at that point I am saying that I've inspected the lots, which I most definitely didn't. So that was on me. Just kind of different situations with flip that I want you to be aware of, just in case you are considering going that route. This Shein crochet top dress was like a blush colored dress, came from a friend of mine, in which we are working on consignment of 50-50 split. This sold for $8 only with the shipping discount. So that gave me $3.33 of profit. And then of course, splitting that with my friend. Now with that friend, we did decide to pay out once there's a little bit more, because, giving this a little bit over $1 isn't really going to do much in the bank. So I will wait until something else sells and then go ahead and pay out that amount when it comes to it. I do have a couple more items that are a little bit higher priced. So as I've said before, I definitely, absolutely suggest you tell people what you do to make a little bit of money, because people are definitely willing to work with you. I've had friends just completely donate clothes to me. I've had friends on consignment. I've had friends make connections to other people for me that they knew that somebody was going through a big spring cleaning spree, and they connected us in that way. So at this point, I am getting most of my inventory through different sources, like connecting with people, some ThreadUp. I do have a 200-pound lot that's just sitting in my garage waiting to be opened up, but I have some inventory I want to get through first. I did get to go to the person's house that I have been sourcing, that I connected with through the Nextdoor app, and I've been going through, taking pictures, slowly listing those items. I do want to haul those items for you, but I told myself that I would at least take the photos of everything first, because I've already started. And once I start something, if I do a haul, then I forget what I listed, what I didn't list. So I want to get everything all at least photographed before I show you. But there's some good stuff. It's mostly loft, but that's, what's selling anyways, as you can see in most of my what sold videos. Which this very next item came from that person. It is loft. I got this, I don't know, I've been going back to this person a couple of times since last July, so I don't remember exactly which time I got this from her for, but this was a loft navy blue plaid leggings. These sold for $13. That gave me $8.33 of profit because it was completely free. That was all profit to me. And that did also come with a shipping discount to the buyer as well. This Ralph Lauren blue, red, and white plaid button-up shirt came from a Flip-Flop. This sold for $12 with no shipping discount. With this particular Flip-Flop, I have gotten a lot of button-down shirts, men's button-down shirts, which I don't know why I thought they would go for a lot more. They are slowly starting to sell off, as is evidence from this sale. They're not quite going as high as I would have hoped, because the $9 profit that I got after platform fees then had to be split with the flip client. These Columbia women's hiking pants or shorts came from a Flip-Flop as well. These sold for $13 with the shipping discount. That gave me $8.33 after that shipping discount and platform fees, and then just like the other Flip-Flops, I had to go ahead and split that profit with the client. These Sanctuary Army Green cropped pants also came from a Flip-Flop. These sold for $28 with no shipping discount. That gave me $22.40 after platform fees. And then, just like before, I did have to go ahead and pay out the client on this one. These American Eagle stretch mom jeans came from a ThreadUp rescue box, which my cost of goods was roughly the $2. These sold for $20 with no shipping discount, so after platform fees, that was $16 of profit. These Athleta sparkly high-rise metallic leggings came from a Flip-Flop. These sold for $20 with the shipping discount, so that gave me $13.32 after the shipping and platform fees, and then of course having to pay out the client from that $13. These Worthington black slim fit dress pants sold for $12. They did come from a ThreadUp rescue box. Now, I could not find these pants for the life of me. I literally went through every single bin, could not find them. I thought I saw them in a couple of bags, so I opened up the bags. Nope, it wasn't it. It was another pair of black pants. So I searched and searched and searched, and 4 days later, I messaged the buyer and said, I cannot find these pants for the life of me, and I went ahead and canceled the order. Now, they did say if I ever happen to come about the pants, to go ahead and reach out to them, because I guess these pants are the only work pants that work out for them, so they really are on the search for them. No matter if I find them today or tomorrow, they want to know about it. So if I do ever come across them, I will definitely reach out to them. I am in the process of trying to clean up some inventory, mostly because I couldn't find these pair of pants. That let me know that I need to, get my act together a little bit here. So if I do find them, I will reach out to this buyer again. But that was $9.05 that I did lose out on, because that's what I would have gotten after the platform fees. These Dickies heavyweight shorts came from, where did they come from? These came from a ThredUp rescue box. So these sold for $9. There was a shipping discount, and that gave me $4.33 after platform fees, and then taking out that $2 cost of goods from ThredUp. So I was halfway through the video, and then my boyfriend called me telling me he's on his way home from work. So I'm here making some tacos. Yesterday at dinner, we were talking about if there was any food that we could only eat for the rest of our life, what would we pick? And tacos was on both of our lists. We did end up obviously going to talking about more foods, but we both decided on tacos. So here we are making some tacos. Other things on my list were meatloaf, meatballs. Obviously, I am a meat lover. Cookies, just the same. I could eat cookies literally every day. And then breakfast, so omelets and eggs. Really anything breakfast. I love oatmeal, just the same. We did just get this McCormick mild taco seasoning. We did try to get the 30% less sodium. We've been on a little bit of a health kick trying to get things together. So we have been trying to get like the healthier options. Not to say that tacos are the most healthy thing, but we're hoping with the 30% less sodium it's a little bit healthier. I feel like I can never be somebody to just completely cut out a food group or cut out foods, but I think taking a little steps of more of moderation, or getting the little bit of healthier option is where I'm at. I've tried before to just like have a completely clean diet. I've tried the Whole30 kind of deal, and it lasted basically a day because it wasn't realistic to me. I like my food. I did just get my notification too on my Apple Watch that I did reach my move goal for today. So my kind of way of staying, I guess, fit is making sure that I move throughout the day, and it's most definitely not with the foods that I eat. I did get a rower, like a rowing machine at work, just a super cheap one. Like it was like $300 on eBay that I just plan to leave there once I leave the school that I am at. And if I notice that my rings on my Apple Watch are not closed throughout the day, I will go ahead and make sure that I put in some time on the rower before I leave. It also helps with getting a little bit of, I don't know, just added stress out before I get home. I try not to bring stress home with me from work, because as I talked about at the beginning of this video, there can definitely be some stressors that come with education, but I'm so grateful that I have, a little bit of outlet here. I'm back from my tacos, and of course they were just so good. Now I'm wondering though, if there was one food that you can eat every day for the rest of your life, what would that food be? I am really interested to see kind of the different arrays of different foods. I don't know, is it tacos for you? Is it something else for you? I really honestly want to know your responses to that one. But beyond that, let's go ahead and go get back to our sales here. So I sold a loft floral purple and white blouse. This came from that free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. This sold for $22 with no shipping discount, so that gave me $17.60 of complete profit for me. If you do have the ability to get loft pieces that are in good, excellent, or new condition, I absolutely suggest picking them up. Of course, if they're cheap enough, you're not going to spend, $20 on it, but I would say that they'd be good, half off prices or good bins prices if you can find them. I've actually been really surprised at how much loft pieces have been going for, because I didn't think that was that much of a brand to look out for, but some of the loft pieces have been going higher than some of the other more designer pieces. This Madewell Black Eaton kind of puff sleeve sweater came from a ThredUp rescue box. I actually also got this same piece from a Quick Lots Amazon pallet, but this one was from the ThredUp rescue box. This sold for $6 with no shipping discount, so that gave me $3.05. Of course, then taking out my approximately $2 cost of goods. Obviously, I didn't make that much money on that, but this sweater was pilling a lot, and I didn't really put that much energy into fixing it up. I did take the shaver down it a couple of times, but I didn't spend more than a couple of minutes on it because I knew it wasn't going to go for that much to begin with. With the shaver, I do have a sweater shaver, but I found that a traditional Bic travel razor actually works better than the shaver, the sweater shaver that I actually spent money on. So that's what I've been using. My boyfriend's mom gives me a lot of travel stuff in stockings, and a lot of times she gives me some of those razors. So that's something that I have been using it for, because I did get laser hair removal. I obviously don't have to shave my legs. I've been using those travel razors to work on the pilling on sweaters and different things. If laser hair removal is something that is within your budget or something that you can budget for, I highly recommend it. Before getting it, I would have to shave, if I was going out at night, I would shave in the morning before work, and then I would shave again before I go out. And now I shave once every 3 weeks, if that. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth the money. These Zara black high-waisted pants came from a flip lot. These sold for $28. That gave me $22.40 after platform fees because there was no shipping discount. And then, of course, just like the other flip pieces, I did have to go ahead and pay out the client. These Chrissy Morris black and tan booties sold for $50 with no shipping discount. This is a pair of shoes that I sourced from Goodwill. I paid $15 for them. I really wasn't sure on them, but they were genuine leather. They seemed like they would go for a good enough price. So I, of course, went ahead and put them up, and it gave me $40 after platform fees, and then, of course, having to take out that $15 cost of goods. Now, I haven't been to Goodwill in a while, but I remember specifically on this trip, it was the first time going back in, a long time, and the prices were way, way higher than they were before. I was somebody that was so lucky in Orlando. They typically set the prices for just one price no matter what the brand was. So for example, all shirts were $4.12. All pants were $4.99. Again, no matter what brand. And the dresses were $6.99. Some of the two-piece dresses, like prom dresses that had a little shawl on them and things like that, or a crop top and a skirt, those I think were $10 or $12. I never got them, but they were definitely a little bit more expensive. On this trip that I got these shoes, prices were all over the place. So I think Goodwill, got the hint in my particular city, and they started pricing accordingly, and I have not been back since. These Levi's women's 721 jeans came from a flip lot. These sold for $24 with a little bit of a shipping discount. So after the shipping discount and platform fees, that's $17.48. Because it came from a flip lot, I of course then had to split that 50-50. This sleeveless knit dress did not have a brand tag on it. It came from a ThredUp rescue box. And if you don't know, a lot of times with ThredUp, if there's no size or there's no brand tag, they go ahead and they don't accept it. So a lot of times they end up in these ThredUp rescue boxes. This particular piece sold for $7 with no shipping discount. After then platform fees, that gave me $4.05. So that gave me roughly $2 after, of course, my $2 cost of goods. This is something that sat in my death pile because I was saying I was going to donate it. I was saying that I was going to try to sell it on my own. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with it, along with some other pieces. This isn't the only piece that was just sitting there. Eventually, I just said, I just need to do something with it. So I just went ahead and listed it. And of course, it sold like within 2 days. These 7 For All Mankind jeans came from a flip lot. These sold for $11 with no shipping discount. That gave me $8.05 after those platform fees, and then of course having to split the profit with the client. This Nike Storm Fit Windbreaker jacket came from a flip lot. It sold for $29 with a shipping discount. So that was $21.48. And then of course having to pay out the client. This was a very neon color. If you didn't know already, neon is definitely in for the year. So if you are somebody that picks up on style, absolutely pick up on some neon because it is selling. So this next piece was also sitting in that forever death pile of, am I going to donate it and am I going to list it? What am I going to do with it? Obviously, finally decided to list it. This was an H&M green and white blouse. This sold for $5, so obviously not very much. There also was a shipping discount. That gave me 33 cents after platform fees. But this is something that I, again, was sitting there forever. So I honestly didn't care what it went for because I was considering donating it to begin with. I feel like sometimes it's better just to get things out of the house if you're not really attached to it, no matter what price they go for. I do have a couple of auctions running on eBay that just started at 99 cents because it's stuff like this that I just needed to get out of my house and stop looking at it because I wasn't donating it and I wasn't listing it. So I just honestly took super quick pictures and listed it. If it's going to sell, it's going to sell. If not, I will go ahead and donate it because it's not inventoried just yet. These Liquido animal print leggings, I'm so happy they sold. They came from one of my original flip flops that I only took a 40% commission on just because I wanted to get going, get some reviews. So, and this stuff has been, you're just sitting there forever and ever and ever because at the beginning I was kind of applying to any lot. I really wasn't paying attention to what was in the lot. I was just applying because I was so excited to be using it, but things are still sitting from those earlier lots for sure. This ended up selling for $22. That gave me $17.60 of profit after the platform fees. And then I had to pay out 60% to the client. So I basically didn't make money on this one at all. These True Religion yellow stitch jeans also came from a flip lot, of course. These sold for $8 with no shipping discount. So that was $5.05 after platform fees. And then, of course, just like the last one, I did have to go ahead and pay out the client. But this one was a 50-50 split after the platform fees. These Ann Taylor Loft modern skinny corduroy pants came from that free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. This sold for $21 with no shipping discount, so that gave me $16.80. Of course, giving that complete profit because it was free. So again, as I said before, don't sleep on Loft if it is cheap enough. These Topshop Moto Jamie skinny jeans came from some inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. However, this particular person I am on a 50-50 split of consignment with. These pants sold for $7 with no shipping discount, so that was $4.05 after platform fees, and then having to pay out the $2 to the client as well. This men's Under Armour mock neck shirt came from a flip-flop. This sold for $9 with a shipping discount, so that was only $4.33 after platform fees, and then I did have to go ahead and pay out the client just the same. These Jockey women's stretch leggings came from a ThredUp rescue box. This came from that same pile of stuff that was just sitting and sitting and sitting that I finally decided to list. So obviously, yeah, list the things no matter how much they go for, because I was going to donate this piece. This sold for $7, no shipping discount, so that was $4.05. So I essentially more than doubled my profit on that. Obviously, it's not the most profit, but instead of donating it, I did make my money back and then some. This Chelsea and Theodore blue and white ombre blouse came from some inventory that I am in consignment with through the Nextdoor app. By the way, when I say through the Nextdoor app, Nextdoor has nothing to do with it. That's just where I happen to get connected with the people. I don't necessarily go on Nextdoor looking to source. In fact, what happened is somebody on just a Nextdoor post was asking for suggestions on side hustling, and I suggested reselling. I was talking a little bit in the comments back and forth, and then these people jumped in on that particular post and said, hey, I have some clothes. Would you like to sell them for me? So I can't really give you any tips or tricks on how to list things on Nextdoor or anything like that, but it is a good place to get connected with people. But back to this piece, it sold for $9 with the shipping discount. That gave $4.33. With this particular client, we did agree on 50-50, so I did go ahead and pay out her fair share. This Lou and Gray super soft, and when I say super soft, I mean the softest thing that I have ever put on my body, but I did not keep it, even though it was my size. I'm here to make money. This dress ended up selling for $25 with the shipping discount. That gave me $18.28. It is Lou and Gray, which is a company that is attached to Loft. It's by Loft. So obviously that came from that inventory that I sourced for free. And then also this pair of Loft modern skinny corduroy pants. Modern skinny corduroy pants by Loft. I sold 3 of them in this past month. So if you have them, if you see them, go ahead and get them listed, because obviously that's a trend that's coming back. I am definitely here for it. These pants ended up selling for $13 with no shipping discount. That gave me $10.05 of profit because it came from that free inventory. So that was the last of my sales in September, specifically to Poshmark. Now I do go ahead and split up my different platforms. So I am also going to be coming out with a video specific to eBay in September, and then of course specific to Mercari. I do sell a little bit on Kidizen, but I haven't sold anything in the past month at all. And then sometimes I sell send old stuff to ThredUp, so I'm making a little bit of money there, but not anything super consistent. So I just really focus on those 3 main platforms. But if that is interesting to you and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That allows my videos to show up on your homepage and the homepage of others, and it allows us to continue to learn and grow together.